was an ambush.
How many did you save?
Just like a dream.
You did the only thing you could do. And you lost.
Hello?
Like a dream.
You looking for these?
Into my life.
You can't save them all.
What is up, everybody? Jeremy Eisenfire here, and welcome to the channel. With the hit series From getting closer and closer to returning to our screens, we are now getting some very intriguing information as to what to expect in this upcoming season, and specifically in regards to finally getting some solid answers. Recently, the writer and creator of From, John Griffin, sat down for a very revealing interview and gave us a sneak peek of some of the things coming up in the third season, in which he states that escape will become a tantalizing and very real possibility as the true nature of the town comes into focus, and the townspeople go on the offensive against the myriad of horrors surrounding them. So it does indeed look like we do have some definitive answers coming in the third season. And with that being said, there certainly is no shortage of very big mysteries and questions that From still needs to solve. And today, we are going to take a look at some of the biggest unanswered questions on the hit series From, and hope that maybe we can see some of these threads answered in Season 3. Starting with one of my personal favorites, who exactly was on the other end of Jim's radio? Towards the end of Season 1, we see Jade and Jim begin to team up to build a radio in hopes of potentially reaching the outside world. But unfortunately for Jim, there seems to be a massive storm heading directly towards Colony House just as they finish setting up, which certainly does not give Jim a whole lot of time to test this radio out. And just when it seems all hope is lost and Jim is about to pack it in, he finally hears a voice on the other end of the radio. Only it certainly was not a voice he was hoping to hear.
Mayday, Mayday! Is anybody out there? Does anybody read me? This is an SOS call. Mayday.
Hello? Is there someone there?
Who is this?
Your wife shouldn't be digging that hole, Jim.
Here, as we hear a rather menacing sounding voice state, "Your wife shouldn't be digging that hole, Jim." And this, of course, sends Jim into a major panic as he rushes home to try and get to Tabitha before something awful happens, only to find that she is nowhere to be found and one giant hole in their floor. But who or what exactly was this voice that Jim came in contact with on the other end of the radio? Was this someone that is also located in Fromville? Could Jim potentially have reached outside of Fromville to someone who is monitoring all contacts coming in and outside of this phenomenon? Or could it be coming from somewhere else entirely? Whatever its true origin, it definitely remains one of the bigger questions on From. And in the upcoming season, we could possibly see a continuation of this storyline, as we see Jim receive a very mysterious call in the Season 3 trailer. And could this mean that Jim might be receiving another ominous message from who was ever on the other side? Could we potentially hear, "Your wife shouldn't have left Jim this time"? I guess we'll find out when Season 3 eventually hits our screens, but either way, I'm really looking forward to this mystery eventually getting solved. But up next, one of the biggest mysteries on the show after the Season 2 finale, we are left wondering, where exactly is Tabitha? At the end of Season 2, we finally see Tabitha eventually make her way to the lighthouse, but unfortunately, she does not find the children she is hoping to rescue when she gets there. Instead, she finds something else entirely.
I'm sorry. I really am. This is the only way.
But just what exactly did happen in this scene? We see Tabitha get pushed out of the window by the mysterious boy in white, not before saying that, "I'm sorry, this is the only way," and next thing she knows, she wakes up in a hospital bed, seemingly in the real world. But what exactly happened to her when she went out of that window, and what will her storyline be going forward, and will she ever find her way back to her family? One thing the writers made a very specific point to show the audience is that Tabitha goes out of that window with Victor's lunchbox strapped around her shoulder. and based on the Season 3 trailer, she does still have the lunchbox wherever she landed. And I get the feeling that this lunchbox is going to play a major part in Season 3, in particular in bringing two characters together, maybe even Tabitha and Victor's long-lost sister, Eloise, whose fate remains still pretty unclear, but as Victor seemingly has not found her body and she never quite returns to town, many fans have been left to wonder if Eloise did in fact escape, maybe even a similar way that Tabitha did. And if that is the case, this lunchbox would be the perfect catalyst to bring the two of them together, as Eloise would be one of the few who would recognize it. And based off the Season 3 trailer, it looks like Tabitha is getting closer and closer to finding Eloise, based on the basement photos of the Ankui children and pictures on the wall that seemingly look like a young Eloise and maybe even a young Victor. But however it plays out, I get the feeling that Tabitha is going to have a very long and tough journey ahead of her, and it might be quite a while before she's reunited with her family. But up next, one of the biggest mysteries on the show that I cannot wait to see where it goes next is, of course, Jade and the mysterious symbol. Since very early on, Jade has been plagued with this symbol, and oftentimes some very gruesome visions that come along with it.
What the fuck?
But what exactly is this symbol trying to convey to Jade, and what does it ultimately mean? In Season 2, we also learn that Jade's storyline is very much mirroring a previous member of Fromville that was plagued with visions of this same symbol, the mysterious character known as Christopher. But we also learn at the end of Season 1 that this symbol might have some meaning to the monsters as well, when Victor and Tabitha discover this very same symbol painted on a wall in the underground caves where the monsters sleep. The same caves that Tabitha falls into after digging the hole in her basement. And then, at the end of Season 2, Jade sees the symbol one final time as he descends down into the caves, in the form of what appears to be tree roots, with the Ankui children directly beneath it. But what exactly was happening in this scene, and how are the Ankui children tied to the symbol? Were these children being used in some dark ritualistic sacrifice to potentially open up some kind of portal? Could this symbol in fact be a doorway? Or could this symbol potentially even be some form of directions that is yet to be interpreted? I have also heard some very interesting fan theories pointing to this potentially being hands on a clock. And if that potentially is the case, that could also explain why we are seeing multiple versions of this same symbol, each with slight variations as to where the lines are pointing. And I'm also looking forward to seeing how this symbol is going to continue to affect Jade as well. We have seen it has already had a pretty profound effect on his overall psyche, and I get the feeling if he does not solve what this thing is soon, he could potentially risk going mad, which could possibly even be the fate that befell Christopher as well. Another big question that the show has yet to answer up until this point is, who exactly is the boy in white, and what is his ultimate goal? The boy in white has consistently been one of the biggest mysteries on the show since early on, and one thing that is equally as mysterious are his motives. At times, the boy in white can be seen helping some of our characters, in the case of Victor and Julie during the Colony House Massacre, having Victor follow them into the woods to safety. And of course, we have him also leading Boyd and Sarah into the faraway tree at the end of Season 1 as well. But what exactly is the boy in white's plan, and is he actually helping? After all, the tree that Boyd was sent into did eventually lead to him contracting the worms and ultimately freeing the entity. Was that all just a coincidence, or could that potentially been part of the boy in white's plan? Whatever his goal is has yet to be revealed, but hopefully we will find out if he is indeed trying to help the survivors, or if he's had his own agenda the entire time. But those are just a few of the many massive questions that are still yet to be answered on From, And definitely let me know down in the comment sections, what are some of the biggest mysteries that you are hoping to be solved, and what character's storyline are you looking forward to seeing most in Season 3? But that is going to do it for us today. Don't forget to leave a like on your way out, and as always, I want to give a big thank you to everybody out there for watching. Keep those tinfoil hats on, folks, and I will see you on the next one.
You said this place couldn't break you. That's what you said. Let's see.
You're so strong. You're so strong. Just no. I know.